What's up, everybody? Casual Comic Cast back again, and
taking my thing.
took
That's all I got is the intro and outro.
Yeah, I think I did this one other time, and it was a complaint back then too.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
So we're back with an actual live stream. Back for the few of you that actually watched us the first time. Last week, you may have tuned in, and there was an echo. Had a little bit of mic issues, and unfortunately didn't notice that until after the fact.
Technically, we had two mics going.
Yes, and so this second attempt for the stream to finally get the review out there.
Get the review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume Dose.
Week late and a couple dollars short.
Well, I'm broke.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Couple dollars short.
Okay. Okay. So let's get underway here with the review. Let's start off with one thing that is great in the movie, and that's
character development.
Yes.
Character development.
Character development is amazing.
Very,
in this movie.
very phenomenal.
Oh, it's so good. And being a writer, I know you're going to show that off.
Yeah, I meant to last week, but
I know you're going to show that off. But being a writer, I love me some character development. I mean, I love character development. I also like to talk badly. I love character development just as much as I love eating cake or anything for that matter. Food in general.
Okay.
No, I am not lying. I love me some character development. And this movie did everything right when it came to character development. You get so attached to these characters now. You feel so attached to them. Especially Baby Groot because he's adorable and he's the best part of the movie because he's great.
And they're all kind of fitting into their roles now. You kind of feel that.
Chris Pratt's not even playing a role anymore. He's just himself at this point.
I think they're blending in. They're more or less coming along the aspects of maybe not quite on the line, but kind of like how Robert Downey Jr., you don't see anybody else playing Iron Man. You don't see anybody else to ever pick up the mantle of Logan, which unfortunately I feel like we're going to see that sometime down the road.
That's inevitable. We're going to see another Wolverine.
I don't think that anybody would live up to Hugh Jackman, but I guess we'll never know until we see.
Unless they make Logan canon, we'll see another Wolverine.
Yeah. But back to Guardians of the Galaxy here.
Absolutely phenomenal.
It was overall. I think we rated it.
We gave it.
It was an 8.5 from Casual Comic Cast.
Yeah, it was an 8.5 Baby Groots out of 10 is what we gave it, and that was solely because, from your standpoint,
I didn't.
You didn't like it as much as the first.
Well, the thing is, I'm not the only one that said it because there was a couple people that I work with that were saying the same thing, and they're saying that the scenes, I think that they end too much on comedy.
Yeah,
you take even the serious moments in the movie.
It is a very comedic movie,
and you end it on a comedic aspect. You ended on that one final joke. That whole scene could be serious, and you ended on a joke, and so then you kind of ruin the aspect that is serious.
Spoiler alert here. We will be going over spoilers, so if you somehow haven't seen the movie yet,
I forgot. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think most people kind of have in the first week. I think it's a general.
I think it's a general consensus that people have gone and seen it.
Go ahead and spoiler alert. We will be saying some things that people won't notice.
And I want to bring up when you were talking about the how they ended every scene pretty much with a joke.
At least early in the film. See, later the jokes they if they did say jokes, it fit. And it didn't stand out too hard. But in the beginning, there was a few scenes in particular that really just felt unnecessary. It ruined it for me.
And one of the major ones was Nebula.
Yeah.
Where
I think hers fit, like looking back on it, it really fit with what Drax had said. However, it still was unnecessary with her character.
Yeah.
Because I don't see her character really doing it. That's the problem.
It came off as too much of a joke coming from her.
Yeah.
Especially in a moment that was extremely serious.
It's definitely a good follow-up of what happened earlier with what Drax said. But again, not her character, though.
Oh, no.
Does not fit her character to actually cut a joke. So I think they messed up there. While we're on the subject of Nebula, another thing that I feel like that kind of ruined the film for me, and you were kind of agreeing with me, that
I didn't like this.
The Nebula,
I didn't like this
she comes in on the ship, and she's flying, and she starts shooting at Gamora, and you see the plane, you see the ship kind of like wreck onto the ground a little bit, but then it picks back up, and and then it comes back around and you're shooting, and you can directly see the bullets are going on the opposite side of Gamora. Gamora's directly in the middle, not even remotely looking like she's gonna ever get hit. And what you could have done is, instead, to make that scene look more believable, because eventually the ship crashes and goes into the kind of the planet, and to make that scene more believable, you could have cut it down, and when it first hit the ground, just made it slide into the cave after that, and you would have made it much more believable. There was no need for the extra scene. Unfortunately, it's permanently going to be in the movie now, but it is what it is. I mean, that's just me being picky.
The way I looked at it was a good scene overall. I like the aspect they had her come in and literally do everything she could try and kill Gamora. I like that aspect of it. It was only the thing that killed it. The thing that killed it was the fact that they gave us a shot of Gamora running with lasers being fired at her, and you could blatantly see that they were... A stormtrooper could have hit her, and they have terrible aim. That's how bad these shots were. It made a stormtrooper look dead shot accurate. Man, I'm coming in with a lot of references there. I hit Deadshot stormtroopers and Marvel with Nebula. That's amazing.
All still related to comics.
I know, ain't it great? But it was just, if they had just cut that shot and given us a different shot, maybe from the back end of the ship, and showing Gamora running, and you could see like the top of her head from the back of the ship, something of that effect where we couldn't see how badly the bullets were missing.
Yeah.
Would have fit perfectly fine. I would have been fine with it. It just was more of a thing where it's just like, this is comedically bad.
Yeah.
This is comedically bad how bad you're missing right now. I can't take you seriously now. Now, they followed up with a very good, intense kind of family moment afterwards, which worked.
But I just think that little bit could have just got cut out of the film, and it would have made it look
you didn't have to
more
cut
smooth.
it. You just had to...
Or a different angle.
Yeah, I mean, you just had to fix it.
You could have made it seem more believable. Regardless,
it was the one big issue with the film that was just, why is that there? And it's all just nitpicking. And it is all just nitpicking.
The casual viewer probably doesn't really care.
I'm sure there were a lot of people who were fine with it and just were laughing at the fact that she was missing so badly.
But I mean, she's supposed to be a deadly warrior, It's like she was intentionally missing. Which I guess is possible.
Maybe she was trying to scare her into whatever was under there.
She says she hates her, but the reality of it is she has to like her at some point. So
family.
So
can't hate family.
It is possible she was.
As they say,
missing.
You can pick your nose. What is it?
You can pick your friends. Yeah, you can't pick your family.
Yeah, you can pick your nose. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
Well, that had nothing to do with family, but anyways.
It's something around there.
Yeah, so I think that's the majority of the negative for the film. There was one other thing that you were saying.
Wait, we were talking about negative stuff. And he didn't show up.
What?
Somebody, I think, would be sad that we were talking negative about the movie.
Hang on. So...
Apparently,
there's one other negative thing that you're going to go on a rant on, but I'll start it off here. So just hold your horses.
Yeah.
So there's a part in the film where Star-Lord's dad, Ego, just touches him on the forehead, and his eyes go black. They glaze over. You see the stars. You see the galaxy kind of in his eyes, and he's looking at the galaxy. And the thing is he says in the middle of that. So before your rant, he says in the middle of that he says, "I see it, eternity." And that is a reference to another character that could be coming our way in the MCU, possibly.
Yeah, I had no idea of this, and this was a cool fact. It made me like it better.
I didn't either, so it's kind of interesting. So the character is actually called Eternity, and he's made up of literally just like stars and planets, just like a kind of an outline.
He's a constellation.
And he looks like you see this this black aura.
So he's just like a constellation, pretty much.
I guess, and basically what it is he makes a lot of appearances in Doctor Strange and stuff like that. So maybe in the future, see him in a Doctor Strange movie.
Number 2.
Or
I doubt we'll get him that soon, though.
Maybe in Thor Ragnarok.
That's possible.
Doctor Strange is in it.
That's possible.
I don't know. I think we're jumping the gun. I think that it won't come into the line probably for a while, because we've seen Adam Warlock get kind of introduced a few years ago, and he's finally not getting. He's not going to get.
We'll talk more about that as
he won't get spotlight until
Volume 3.
Volume 3. So
we can talk more about that.
They kind of announce their stuff really far ahead of time, so I don't see Eternity showing up until probably after Thanos.
Yeah. But now let's get into the little bit of thing that I had an issue with here, and this is. And I know people probably hate me for it because I'm nitpicking, and it's got nothing to do with comics. It's just me being nitpicky and just not liking what was going on. I didn't like just how it looked. I didn't like the masking done. I didn't like the look of it. Because when I watch movies now with the film degree, you look at it and you're nitpicking everything. You're going over it all. You're watching the movie, and Groot, don't be sad. I'm sorry.
But, I was wondering when you were going to notice Baby Groot.
But when you watch it now, you just nitpick and you see these things you don't like and you like. And that was one of them. I'm just watching it, and the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, I hate it. I hate the masking job. It just does not look good to me.
I didn't mind it. But so that's
that
not the personal
at least
opinion.
Followed something. It had a reason
the
bigger than what it was.
The story behind it definitely...
That helps it. It's just I did not like the masking job.
But kind of on the same level of that, we did like the way that Ego was kind of brought in as a Celestial. The way they introduced Celestials.
Kurt Russell at his finest, man.
The way they introduced Celestials into the MCU, that's good. I mean, we've already seen in the Thor trailer, we see a guy in the back kind of dressed up like a Celestial.
Already. And, they kind of almost make reference to it somewhat.
Yeah, so you can see that they're headed down that path. But I think this was a good introduce.
And I like that they introduced the aspect of Star-Lord being a Celestial in the movie.
Yeah, so he actually has more to him than just being an average human. But
not anymore.
But
spoiler alert.
Well, yeah. But I like that fact that they just kept it to the one film, because otherwise you're going to make him this OP person.
Oh yeah, that's
that
something
pretty much
you could have drawn out, but it makes so much more sense to make him more relatable.
Yeah.
Because when you make him that OP, you kind of lose that relatability to the average man.
What also, it doesn't fit in with the rest of the Guardians, really. He'd just be more OP, and he'd pretty much be carrying the team. And then he also would be carrying the fight against Thanos. Pretty much he would be the one going hand in hand and probably finish off Thanos.
And we all know that Rocket Raccoon is going to be the one to kill him with probably some giant laser that makes no sense how he built it in like 5 seconds.
True.
But he's going to do it anyways. And he's
heading into...
just going to run in there as a distraction.
Which I think we mentioned before, that actually, if those of you that have played the Telltale game, and if you haven't,
that is what happened.
The Telltale game actually...
I forgot about that.
It kind of goes hand in hand with the movie. There are some different aspects, but it's interesting that you see Gamora actually talk about her family in there, and then they kind of really do touch base on family.
One issue,
and that story with Thanos.
The one difference is kind of Nebula is not really against. She's not against Thanos in the game.
Yeah, she seems to be against the Guardians, whereas in the movie she seems to be primarily with the Guardians. Yeah. And seems to really hate Thanos.
That's the big difference between the movie and the game.
But they still touch on it, so it's interesting that there are some tie-ins.
And Drax's color.
That is another thing that I had wrote down, because
Drax's
color, you were saying, I think a couple weeks ago, that his color was supposedly announced to be gray.
Well, in the movies, James Gunn says it's gray. Yeah. In the comics, he is green.
In the
game, he is blue. I don't know what color he is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, in the game though, he actually says the other green one. He does look a little bit green, so I'd say that he's still green.
Turquoise?
He's green in the game too. I almost said movie.
He's gray in the movie. We know that much.
Yeah.
Batista is gray.
But in the game, he does say the other green one. Is the other green one okay, or something like that?
Yeah,
so I don't know why he's gray when it comes to the big screen.
I don't know. I like it, though.
Rather than green.
I like it, though. It takes forever for Big Dave to get his makeup on, though.
Yeah.
See a time lapse of that.
But, nonetheless.
I got one more thing to say, and this is one more negative thing, because I almost forgot about it. For me, once again, it's nitpicking. I'm doing a lot of that, apparently.
Well, actually, I have another negative thing, too. I'm curious if this is the same one.
And it's just a thing with me. I'm not a huge fan of special effects.
Oh, no.
Not special effects, I shouldn't say. CGI. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I like practical stuff. I like Sing. villains that, aren't computer generated. You can tell they're people. And, well, that was a weird whistle.
I think it's a bird.
Probably.
There's a bird nesting in our vents.
That's weird. But hopefully it's not
Vulture's
CGI.
coming for me because I'm the real Spider-Man.
So you gotta fight an old man.
Yep.
Make sure you dance to Umbrella. That'll scare him away. But I'm not a big fan of CGI stuff, especially overly done. And there is a ton of CGI in Volume 2.
I didn't really mind too much. I didn't really pay attention too much to that particular detail, but
I think it's just
I get where some people could come from. In comparison to
set design's good though.
In comparison to Guardians 1,
a lot of CGI.
I think overall Guardians 1 is a better film than Guardians 2.
And I put it like balanced out. I have it like on the same wavelength.
I mean, they're fairly close, but I'd say Guardians 1 is. I don't agree with the commercial where the commercial says it's the sequel that's better or something like that. The sequel that, like, I forget the exact quote that it said, but the gist of it was the sequel was better.
I will say, they do say one thing that's the truth, definitely, in those commercials. It is the funniest Marvel movie they've put out. And I say that mainly because I laughed at nearly every joke. There were there were some corny ones that
really should have been taken out, especially in the serious scenes.
I laughed at nearly every joke that at least Batista threw out there as Drax. That dude is too funny.
Yeah, his were like the subtle jabs, kind of, like of comedic.
He's insulting them, but in the most kind way to insult a person.
See, his jokes actually flowed in with it. Like, it flowed in with the story, and his was so subtle that it's just like, if it didn't seem out and like kind of forced in.
Yeah.
Whereas some of them did, like the
I will
Nebula.
agree, though, that it's probably the funniest movie they've put out, because not a lot of their other movies have had that much humor in it. So,
yeah,
I'll give them that. Overall, though, good movie. And I do recommend going to see it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we
definitely recommend
it
going to see it.
But
8.5 Baby Groots out of 10.
One final negative thing, since you didn't touch on this. Stan Lee is supposedly...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was kind of annoying.
Stan Lee is supposedly said to be a watcher
now.
Kevin
Feige did state he is a watcher.
If he is a watcher, why is he sitting with the rest of the watchers? They're perfectly fine. And yeah, he's in a spacesuit. If he's a watcher, he does not need a spacesuit. So I hope that they clarify this later.
Yeah, if they actually bring him in at any point as an actual watcher in the storyline.
Yeah.
But it's...
Otherwise,
that was just one of those things that you think about after the movie's done. You're just like, that's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah. It doesn't fit. If he's supposedly a watcher, he didn't need that suit. So that was an unnecessary thing to be in the film.
That was just something we thought was really just weird that they did that.
And then what else? So we could touch on the Easter eggs. So the other Easter eggs,
there were a lot of them.
In the credit scenes particularly, you see Cosmo the space dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dancing though, which we'll get to the dancing. He starts it off, and then it goes into the dancing on the left and the right sides, and you see Quinn. You see Peter Quinn.
Yep.
Right, and that is his name. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that wasn't his name for a second. Anyway, Star-Lord. You see his grandfather dancing in one of the bubbles. You also see the Grand Master dancing in another bubble on the right side of the screen. So
doing what he does.
That's kind of a little nod to the Thor Ragnarok, and then into the post-credit scenes,
we called one... Well, we actually called technically two of them because we said one would be humorous, and three of them were.
Well, we called a couple. We called the Groot being a teenager.
Yes, because we knew that one was coming.
Yeah. So we got that one. We already knew the Stan Lee one was coming, so really that wasn't really us calling it. We already kind of knew.
There were a couple humorous ones. Before we touch on the big one that actually goes into Volume 3, let's go over the humorous ones they did next. Because we called the one that leads into Volume 3.
Well, yeah, but I will talk on the Ravager one. So the Ravager one, that post-credit scene is setting up the Ravengers for Volume 3, the new round of Ravengers. And
starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, and I would say, or basically what they reference is they are the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. So that's what they stand for. And really, our opinion on this, we talked about this after the movie. The reason why they bring him in as an actor and everything, so Sylvester Stallone, that is.
Stallone. And any other older actors they want to bring
in. I feel like he was brought in because Marvel is branching out to all ages and all genres of movies because they are trying to get people to watch their content.
Yep, and he's a huge name. Everyone knows who he is. Expendables, huge action star.
Although, I guess technically, though, if they are supposed to be the original Guardians,
it makes sense.
It makes sense that he is the older. There, yeah. So I can roll with it.
But you do.
We're not trying to hate here.
I'm not hating on Sylvester Stallone one bit. The dude's a great actor. Still a good actor at his age, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But it might just be me. To me, he just gets more inaudible as he ages. I love the guy. I think he's a great actor. But he seems to get more inaudible as he ages.
I was able to understand him, so. But,
well, I do like Sylvester Stallone, and I'm interested to see what they do with Ravengers. I'm not excited, but I'm interested.
At first, I kind of thought that maybe they were going to get a spin-off, and I was just like, that's unnecessary. So I think that they're definitely going to just be in Volume 3, and then maybe be in a spin-off later. But I kind of hope not.
I don't know.
In my opinion.
Oh, let's talk about one Easter egg that was in there that we called before we get to the next post-credit scene.
Howard the Duck. My
boy, Howard the Duck, was chilling, having a nice drink, smoking a cigar with the ladies at a bar.
We did call that. We said that he was going to be in the film somewhere. And so,
he was just chilling.
Because it only makes sense, because we did get free after the whole collector base, blowing up.
Howard had to do something.
Blowing up, I should say. But
Howard had to do something with his time.
But that's cool that they still have him making appearances in the films, and so clearly he's still in the universe.
I want me that Howard the Duck movie.
We really want to see.
Give me that Howard the Duck remake,
or Howard the Duck and Rocket teaming up, or Rocket and Groot in Howard the Duck in some sort of combination.
Yes.
I think that would be very good.
And he's so much fun.
We talked about it, that Kevin Feige says that they're not doing phases anymore, and so we kind of theorized that maybe they're going to go on a cosmic level. And so this would be a nice spin-off to see. So it's not guaranteed, but it's something that we would like to see.
They would just be insulting everyone they go up to.
And you mentioned in the past, you think about the merchandise that's been selling. It's been a lot of Baby Groot stuff and everything. So if they made a movie with Howard the Duck and Rocket Raccoon and
put them on
Groot,
a T-shirt immediately, I'm buying.
You would be making so much money in merchandise alone.
I want a Howard the Duck T-shirt.
So
I want a Howard the Duck T-shirt.
I have never actually seen a Howard the Duck T-shirt.
I want one now.
Google that.
I'm on it right now.
I want to know if there is
I will do this right now during the stream. Let's find out.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's got to be at least one on Etsy. You keep talking about stuff.
So, let's see. Do we have anything else
there was the humorous... they had the humorous post-credit scene.
Humorous post-credit scene.
After Yondu's passing.